Hey, good evening, guys. It is Wednesday night, June 1st, 11:11 p.m. Eastern Time, New York time. And I haven't made a video in a couple of weeks. I've been out of town a lot and traveling in the country, so just really haven't had time to do it. But I did want to just make a really quick video to talk about big event risk tomorrow, Eastern Time, which is at 7:45 a.m. Eastern Time is the minimum bid rate for the euro, and then following up at 8:30 with the press conference. And you really need to watch this entire event from 7:45 probably till about 8:45, because sometimes the press conference is more important than the actual announcement. Since they're not expecting to make any change in the bid rate, the press conference may actually be more important. So anyways, just a quick look at the euro pairs based on that. Now again, these are based purely on what the patterns look like right now, and certainly not suggesting that this is what will happen. Um, you need to be very, very careful. These can be really crazy volatile with a lot of whipsawing, with candles going, up 200 pips, then reversing, going down 200 pips, so they can really kill you if there's no definitive trend to this. But anyways, we'll start with Euro Kiwi, and just go out to the bigger picture here. This is the monthly chart, obviously a very, very, very long view here, but you see, you go back about 10 years, and we had this very long downtrend, and you can see beginning back in a little over 2 years ago, we had this uptrend start, and it's been pretty aggressive. Now we've pulled back, and we're in this pattern right now. And so now going down to the weekly or the daily, well, let's stop on the weekly first. So here's that pattern, basically completed a 5-wave up, and this to me looks like a possible ABC formation, this whole thing. And this triangle could be representative of the wave B, and so we'll have to see what happens. But I do expect that eventually this will break back to the upside. So I'm going to be watching this tomorrow morning and see where these candles are at. And as long as we hold these lows here and this trend line somewhat holds up, I'll be looking for a reversal back up at least towards the top of this, and if it's a longer term break, much higher. So for a triangle, we basically at this point we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in place. And so there is a little bit of caution that this may actually break down, but so we'll see how that goes. Going down to the lower time frames again, we're drifting back towards this trend line again, and so I expect that this will be right about where the price is when the news comes out, and so we'll see. But if this weekly trend holds up, then we could see a break, back up through this through the upper end of this boundary. So, all right, Euro Canadian. Again, this is on the 12-hour chart, and this does look like potentially an ABC in process. This probably completed the A, and then we had B down, and we could be inside of potentially a wave 1 of C. And so between now and when the news comes out, we may see this start to drift lower back towards the bottom of this channel. I don't know if it'll make it all the way down there, but this could be a retracement prior to the news coming out. This is let's go to the 4-hour chart. We're only about what, 8, 9 hours or so before the news release, so it's going to be hard for this to make it back down to the bottom of this channel, but it could. So we'll see. And inside of this channel, you know, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So again, this could suggest a downward move too. Okay, Euro Aussie. Again, this appears to be potentially an ABC pattern, with this being the A and then a B and then up for C. And there currently is moving up a little bit. This was as a result of the negative Australian dollar news that came out a couple of hours ago. And we're seeing some push up on the Euro Aussie because of the negative Aussie news. Actually, it was a mixed bag, and at first the Aussie rallied, but it quickly turned around and went back down. So anyways, let's keep an eye on this. Now, the other thing is, you know, this could potentially be just the beginning part of wave B, and we could see a further push down, because the retracement on this wave A, you know, really didn't even touch the 38.2 retracement. So I mean, this technically would qualify for a wave B down to here, but you generally expect to see this push a little further down on the wave B. So but again, longer term, I do think the Euro Aussie will go up. So, and finally, Euro Dollar. Out to the weekly chart, again, we're seeing this corrective pattern, just kind of walking up this trend line here. We've now hit the bottom of that trend line again, of the lower trend line. I don't have an upper one drawn in, but you get the idea. And now we're seeing it potentially turn around and move back to the upside again. And so we'll see if that has any sustaining value. You know, and again, from a standpoint of waves, you know, this is, I guess you could count this as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and now we're heading down. And if that's the case, this trend line could break and we could see this fall. So I'm going to be very curious to see where these pairs are tomorrow morning. You know, at first glance, my thought was that that we were going to see these euro pairs rally on the news, that would be positive. But upon second look, I'm not sure now. That I think longer term they will, but I think in the short term we could see a breakdown. Again, you know, back to Euro Kiwi, if this is an A and this is a wave B, we could see this push further down at the break of this triangle to the downside, before eventually it goes back up for C. And if it does break from here, you know, this is a 1400 pip wide triangle. So let's say this was the wave 5 up here. 1400 pips is going to take us all the way down to the to about the 155 area for the wave B, which would be a more reasonable retracement before wave C. So but like I said, it just begs the question that to be very cautious of these when you're trading these rate decisions, because there certainly could be a lot of volatility, and you don't know. And like I said, the initial release is going to have some impact, even if it comes in unchanged, which is expected to. Like I said, you're gonna have, even if this comes in unchanged, this probably in and of itself will have some effect, probably whipsawing, but the press conference is really what you're going to have to pay attention to, if this, because that's really where the clues come in that you won't get from, you know, an unchanged bid rate. So the press conference will be much more important in this case. Now, if they come in with a different number on the bid rate, then all bets are off. But otherwise, if it comes in at 0 as expected, then keep an eye on the press conference. The other thing to keep an eye on tomorrow, just as an aside, is the OPEC meetings going on all day. So the commodity crosses, especially the Canadian dollar, that, you know, the big oil producing countries, Canadian dollar, maybe even the US dollar, all the, you know, the commodity pairs, and maybe to a lesser effect the Aussie and the Kiwi, but Canadian dollar primarily I'll be watching, since they're so dependent on oil exports as part of their economy. So all right, and so that's the other big one. And then of course will be followed up by crude oil inventories out of the US, which probably would go hand in hand with the OPEC meetings. But obviously this is an all-day event, so you're gonna have to just keep an eye on the news wires if it's something you're gonna try to trade. So and that's really it for tomorrow. Then the big dog again will be on Friday, but I'm not going to talk about that right now. So anyway, so good luck tomorrow. Be very careful during those at those news releases. Don't get whipsawed around. You can really lose a lot of pips really fast, and of course you can gain a lot too if you call it right and there's clear direction to the market. But I think it remains to be seen, and it's not super clear to me right now at the moment based on patterns. So anyways, good luck, good trading. And if you're interested in getting more of these videos, leave a comment in the underneath here on YouTube and just let me know, and I'll try to go back to recording the weekly videos. If I don't get any response, then I probably will just record them as I have time, but it probably won't be with any consistency. So anyways, guys, have a good night. We'll talk to you.